Thanks for watching the #1 news station, honored for overall excellence and best website by the Associated Press. Northwest News, Channel 8, where the news comes first.
On Nightly News tonight, firefight. Another wildfire roars through homes in Southern California, swept along by strong winds. In the black, long hours and price breaks brought in the crowds, but did Black Friday bring in the cash retailers need? The big push. Presidential candidates begin their final swings to build the momentum for the early primaries. And Mother Earth, one woman's quest to restore a continent, one tree at a time. Nightly News begins now.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. Substituting tonight, Peter Alexander.
Along the California coastline tonight, just north of Los Angeles, strong dry winds are fueling another fierce wildfire. It is a devastating deja vu this holiday weekend for the residents of Malibu, barely 1 month after a similar fire destroyed 2,000 homes in Southern California. Before dawn today, homeowners again woke up to the smell of smoke. Tonight, the flames have already leveled more than 30 homes and forced thousands of people to evacuate. The Los Angeles County Fire Chief is describing this latest fire as dynamic and dangerous. NBC's Jim Foreman is on the fire lines tonight for us with the very latest. Jim, good evening.
Good evening, Peter. Finally this evening, firefighters reporting some significant progress, but they know so much still depends on the wind. The fire started in the early morning hours, fanned by the dry Santa Ana winds gusting to 60 miles per hour. The flames raced through canyon neighborhoods dotted with multi-million-dollar homes. Faced with a wall of fire, people ran for their lives.
We just took off because the fire was too close to us, and nothing else we can do was just run away.
At sunrise, a fleet of firefighting aircraft took to the air. This pilot executing a daring and dangerous maneuver to draw water out of a backyard swimming pool. A massive DC-10 strafed the tinder-dry hillsides, dropping loads of red fire retardant. But by mid-morning, it was clear a disaster was unfolding. By afternoon, 49 homes had been reduced to heaps of burning debris. In places like Latigo Canyon, residents defied evacuation orders and stared down the flames, hoping to save their homes and a lifetime of memories.
We've never left in the 20 years we've been here. If you leave and there is a small fire, the firemen have already left and your house burns down.
Some 14,000 people have been chased from their homes by the fire, and while the Red Cross has opened shelters, the local Starbucks is the community gathering point and information hub.
My husband's guitar is really important.
Caroline Thomas had just minutes to decide what to grab before evacuating.
We took baby videos, wedding videos, a jewelry box, 2 cats, a dog, a couple reptiles.
1,700 firefighters are on the lines. Hundreds more are standing by.
We got this call this morning approximately 3:45, and right away I thought, here we go again.
This is the second fire in a little over a month to hit this area. But unlike last month's deadly California firestorms, the Santa Ana winds are expected to die down quickly tomorrow. Malibu's mayor cautiously optimistic.
The wind, as you can tell, has dropped. It gives the firefighters and the aircraft a chance to really hammer the fire and try to bring it under control. Hopefully that the conditions will remain the same.
Well, the conditions are holding. In fact, some of the evacuation orders being lifted as we speak. As for a cause, still under investigation, but some neighbors report hearing the sounds of a party near where the fire was first reported. We'll continue to stay on top of it. That's the latest from here. Peter, back to you.
Jim Foreman reporting from Malibu tonight. Jim, thank you. The human impact of disasters like wildfires sometimes can get lost in the statistics. But one family's experience today captures the frustration and heartbreak that these fires have already caused.
You just kind of hope that something like this isn't going to happen to you.
Early this morning, Michael and Wendy Kappas evacuated their Malibu home, forced out by the fire nearby.
My son and I work out every morning and woke up and said, the sky is red, we smell smoke. We went that way, and my husband came down this way to see what was happening to the property.
The house they are building less than a mile away burned down.
The one side of me is happy nobody's been injured, no fatalities, nobody's been hurt, my family's safe. The other side of me is just a really sick feeling. We've been building this thing for 3 years.
The Kappas family designed their house from the ground up, Michael and his son Matthew laid the foundation themselves.
We poured concrete, and it's been a couple years, and we're just getting the roof on this week, getting ready to put windows in, and hopefully be in 2 months.
They know the risks of moving into a fire zone. They've taken precautions to protect their home.
The material that the house was going to be made out of was going to be fireproof, as well as, ironically, next week the sprinkling system was going to be installed.
The campuses say they'll rebuild, even though it could take years. A small price to pay, they believe, for a spectacular view and great neighbors.
I was one of those people for many years thinking, well, what are those people thinking? You know, their houses are sliding down the hills, and it's, you know, but it's just such a beautiful, beautiful place. It's almost paradise, almost.
Tonight, the Kappas family is hoping there will be some part of their structure left to salvage when they get their first chance to return to their property. Iran is claiming for the first time it has produced its own nuclear fuel pellets of enriched uranium. The Iranian vice president says the pellets are already being tested to power a nuclear reactor now under construction. The White House, responding to this report, released a statement that the international community remains united that Iran should not be allowed the capacity to make nuclear weapons. Australia's voters have elected a new leader, rejecting the fifth-term bid of one of America's staunchest allies. Conservative Prime Minister John Howard was beaten soundly and may also lose the parliamentary seat he has held for the last 3 decades. Voters backed Labour Party leader Kevin Rudd, who promised to withdraw troops from Iraq and sign the Kyoto Protocol on global warming. That would make the United States the only industrialized nation not part of that pact. The latest violence in Afghanistan has claimed the lives of a group of school children. They were caught in an attack by a suicide bomber who detonated explosives near troops building a bridge near Kabul. 6 children and 1 Italian soldier were killed in that blast. 9 others were wounded. In Pakistan tonight, there is increased concern about attacks by Taliban forces challenging President Pervez Musharraf as political and military turmoil continues under that country's current state of emergency. As many as 36 people were reported killed in 2 suicide bombings that struck at the heart of the nation's security forces. NBC's Richard Engel is in Pakistan with the very latest.
Pakistani troops and emergency workers quickly locked down Rawalpindi after a suicide bomber rammed a car bomb into a bus crowded with workers at Pakistan's main intelligence agency. Nearby, another suicide bomber attacked a checkpoint outside an army base. The military here suspects Taliban fighters who have moved from remote strongholds near the border with Afghanistan into Pakistani cities. These rare pictures taken by a local cameraman earlier this month show militants setting up roadblocks in Swat, once a mountain retreat popular with tourists 100 miles from Islamabad. Armed with guns and swords, the militants try to show they're in charge. They even hand out candy, a Hearts and Minds campaign.
Look, they're challenging the state. The state is retreating in these areas.
Last week, the army moved to take back its cities, launching a major offensive in Swat. 15,000 troops on a mission to uproot an estimated 700 fighters, imposing the Taliban's version of Islamic law.
They were closed down shops, they were closed down girls' schools, they were generally terrorized people. And if anybody in the village stands up to them and, they would call in other groups.
President Pervez Musharraf says it's this militant threat that forced him to declare an unpopular state of emergency 3 weeks ago, triggering demonstrations across the country.
Pakistani forces are now facing 2 fronts. While the army is battling Islamic militants in an offensive commanders say will last through December, riot police are still on the streets, stopping political protests against Musharraf.
While the political demonstrations appear to be dying down, tonight the army imposed a curfew in Swat and even a blockade on food supplies, trying to starve out the militants ahead of an expanded offensive to end the biggest challenge to Musharraf's 8 years in power. Richard Engel, NBC News, Islamabad.
Desperation is growing in Bangladesh as tens of thousands of survivors there continue to wait for much-needed supplies more than a week after a devastating cyclone slammed into that country. And today, hungry victims suffered a terrible accident. NBC's Ian Williams reports.
The terrifying moments after part of a bridge collapsed under the weight of thousands of cyclone victims. This today in Kalapara, one of the areas worst hit by the storm. Eyewitnesses said the arrival of an aid truck had triggered a stampede moments before the bridge gave way. Police said at least one person died and dozens were injured. The death toll is expected to rise. Aid is now pouring in, but the bridge tragedy is the most dramatic sign yet of the growing frustration and anger at the government's failure to reach many of the cyclone's victims.
This aid operation is now gathering pace, but distribution remains very patchy. There are areas yet to receive any help at all.
The operation should be boosted as early as tomorrow with food and medicine from the USS Kearsarge, an American warship now off the coast of Bangladesh. The US has already provided 3,000 gallons of drinking water, as medics warn that a lack of clean water could soon trigger an epidemic of waterborne diseases.
It's a real threat for us. This is a big real health challenge for now.
9 days after the cyclone devastated this area, it remains a race against time to save thousands still waiting for help. Ian Williams, NBC News, Dhaka, Bangladesh.
Back here at home, nervous retailers were waiting for the first financial returns from Black Friday, wondering if the biggest shopping day of the year would bring the holiday cheer they need. Tonight, NBC's Pat Dawson brings up the early results.
It's total mayhem.
Taking no chances, stores across America were open early.
I've been here since 3 o'clock.
Offering big deals.
You're welcome. I got the last two $35 MP3 players right here.
Major markdowns on merchandise from high-def televisions.
At almost $400 off is a steal in itself.
To the latest toy.
$24.60.
Fueled by the prospect of early bargains, holiday shoppers jammed stores and malls from Knoxville to Portland to the Garden State Mall in New Jersey, which reported a 5% jump in visitors.
Gotta get some Christmas presents, gotta shop.
We try to offer great values for our customers and try to entice them into the store.
And it worked. Nationally, Friday sales were up a strong 8.3% over the same day last year.
The car is totally full. There's no place else to put bags.
Starting the holiday selling season against the backdrop of record-high gas prices and unsettling economic news, retailers were holding their breath after especially weak fall sales.
I just want to spend less.
And the season's fast start isn't all good news. Sales may be up, but the numbers reflect those hefty discounts. Good news for the consumer, but it could leave the nation's retailers with thin profits and the economy without much of a shot in the arm. And some analysts say one good day doesn't make a good season.
We also need to look at how are they going to fare Saturday and Sunday.
Still, with so many things weighing on the consumer's mind, retailers are optimistic.
We feel very encouraged as to how this is going to play out for the rest of the holiday season for us.
Hoping the consumer doesn't run out of steam before Christmas. Pat Dawson, NBC News, New York.
When Nightly News continues this Saturday, in depth, fresh faces in charge, how it's changing the way we work, plus our planet and a call to action to go green by planting 2 billion trees.
It was midnight when it appeared, with big fangs oozing with slime. It was monster mucus!
When mucus causes a child chest congestion and coughing, the nights aren't fun for anyone. New Mucinex Cough Mini Melts, the quick melting, great tasting way to break up mucus and quiet coughing.
Mini Melts! Ghost stories and all that! You want to hear a bedtime story?
Mucinex in, mucus out.
Have you heard about Miralax? It's a different kind of laxative that's kind to your body. Miralax relieves constipation with no bloating.
No cramping.
And now, no prescription.
Restore your body's natural rhythm with Miralax.
Working in a hospital means lots of hand washing.
And extremely dry skin. Gold Bond Ultimate Healing Lotion. 7 intensive moisturizers, 3 vitamins, plus healing aloe for healthy skin.
Can your lotion
really works?
Forget hair color that looks like one tone. Get 3 tones built in with Nice and Easy. Incredibly natural-looking color with highlights, dimension, and shine like never before. Nice and Easy with 3 tones built in from Claro.
green bean casserole. Make some holiday magic.
Cholesterol. It can come from that cherry pie, but also from your granddad's sigh. From beef off the grill and your grandmother, Jill. A healthy diet is important. When that's not enough, adding Vytorin can help. Cholesterol comes from two sources, food and family. Vytorin treats two sources. Only Vytorin helps block the absorption of cholesterol from food and reduces the cholesterol your body makes naturally. Vytorin was also proven in clinical studies to lower bad cholesterol more than Lipitor alone, more than Crestor alone. Vytorin is not for everyone, including people with liver problems, women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Tell your doctor right away about unexplained muscle pain or weakness, which may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect. Certain medicines or foods may increase your risk of getting this serious side effect. Simple blood tests are needed to check for liver problems. So eat right, stay active, but if that's not enough, ask your doctor about adding Vytorin, two sources of cholesterol. Treat them both with Vytorin.
NBC News in depth tonight. Young bosses. There is a growing generation gap in businesses nationwide. Even as the workforce gets older, more young workers are moving into executive offices. It's challenging employees to take a new look at the jobs they're doing and to find new ways to do those jobs together, as NBC's Michelle Kosinski reports in depth.
Time was being the boss meant having paid your dues. Now.
How old are you?
I'm 26 years old.
You're my new boss.
I guess so.
The fresh-faced boss from the movies is more often a reality.
I was nervous about how their perceptions of me could impact my leadership abilities in the beginning.
At 26, Allison Keel took over a big team at Wachovia. When she took them out for a get-to-know-you lunch, she got carded.
I would get a few comments from time to time that, you know, you remind me of my child.
I'd rather be your older sister.
Patty Rice, who used to own her own business.
Do you remember how to get to the deposit and access website? No, I don't.
Had to remind Allison that they have different motivations.
I want to do well within the bank, but I don't have that aspiration to take her job one of these days.
Across town at the Home Depot, Chris Wilson started running the store at 24. They've been working longer than you've been alive.
Back then it was, I just had to prove myself. I tried to work harder than everybody.
Now they learned from one another.
They have this young gentleman coming in with all these bright ideas and all this energy, and I get to sit back and I take a deep breath and I say, you know what? Some of this stuff can really work.
A study shows that 1 in 5 American workers has a younger boss. 2 decades ago, it was around 1 in 15. According to that same survey, about 3/4 of older workers said that they related well to younger, but only about half of all employees said that they related well to the older workers. Experts say there is a gap in communications and expectations.
The young pups coming in and demanding, not just wanting, like us baby boomers did, a nice salary, nice office, and all the perks.
But she says in more and more workplaces now,
can't teach an old dog new tricks. I beg to differ.
Energy alongside experience.
Most of it pretty much in order. Ready to rock and roll.
Just works. Michelle Kosinski, NBC News, Atlanta.
Absolutely.
And when we come back, presidential candidates back on the trail for the final push to the caucuses and primaries. Plus, our planet and out of Africa, a woman determined to grow a new green belt of trees around the world.
For every romantic moment, there's a way it can be interrupted.
Emergency home repair.
A surprise visit home from college.
Unexpected guests. But guys with ED can relax because there's Cialis. Cialis is the only erectile dysfunction tablet clinically proven to both go to work fast in as little as 30 minutes for some men and work up to 36 hours. No other ED tablet can do both.
Sure, Cialis can work fast, but having up to 36 hours is a great option.
And with Cialis, I can respond to her only when we're finally ready.
Tell your doctor about your medical condition and all medications, and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease in hearing or vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
Why ask your doctor about Cialis? Because when the moment is right, you can be ready.
Nasal sprays? Ooh, I'm shaking in my boots. Huh? Mucinex nasal spray?
New Mucinex Full Force Nasal Spray. Specially made to clear even the toughest mucus out of your nose for 12 hours. Mucinex in, mucus out.
Well, that's it. I just took my osteoporosis medicine, and now I'm set for the whole month because I take Boniva. Just one pill a month builds strong, healthy bones to help prevent fractures. And it's working for me. My test results prove my bones have gotten stronger. Studies show after 1 year on Boniva, 9 out of 10 women had better bone density. Unlike treatments you have to take every week, you only need Boniva once a month. So it makes my bones stronger on my schedule.
You should not take Boniva if you have low blood calcium, severe kidney disease, or cannot sit or stand for at least 60 minutes. Follow dosing instructions carefully. Stop taking Boniva and tell your doctor if you experience difficult or painful swallowing, chest pain, or severe or continuing heartburn, as these may be signs of serious upper digestive problems.
I've got this one body and this one life. So I'm glad this one pill is making my bones strong.
Ask your doctor if Boniva is right for you. And for a free trial offer, call 1-800-4-BONIVA. There's only one.
A follow now to our lead story last night about tourists rescued from a sinking ship that slammed into an iceberg off Antarctica. All 154 passengers of the MS Explorer rode out a night of wild weather at remote bases on the frozen continent after abandoning their cruise ship. Groups will now be ferried back to the mainland on a military plane. Officials say families have been contacted and everyone evacuated from the Explorer is in good condition. The ship itself sank just hours after that collision. Now to the Vatican City, where 2 Americans were among 23 archbishops and priests today elevated to cardinal. One was Archbishop Daniel DiNardo of the Galveston-Houston Archdiocese. Another receiving the distinctive red hat from Pope Benedict was a man who may be familiar to our NBC audience. He is Archbishop, now Cardinal John Foley, a longtime NBC commentator. The 72-year-old Philadelphia native has spent the last 23 years in Rome, much of it as head of the Vatican's communications office. Back in this country, candidates are getting their final chance to build momentum going into the early caucuses and primaries. And as NBC's John Yang reports, with just a little more than a month to go, the presidential hopefuls know there is no time to waste.
Oh, happy Thanksgiving. I ate too much.
In Iowa, the final push to the first votes of the 2008 presidential election began today, 40 days before the state's caucuses.
What I will ask you is to stand up for me on January 3rd so that I can stand up for you during this campaign.
Hillary Clinton may be leading in national polls, but a new survey of Iowa voters this week shows her locked in a close 3-way battle with Barack Obama and John Edwards. On the Republican side, the poll finds apparent national frontrunner Rudy Giuliani in 4th place in Iowa, behind the surging Mike Huckabee, who's now challenging Mitt Romney's lead.
What you find in the polls in Iowa and New Hampshire is that they tend to reflect how people are reacting after seeing candidates 2 or 3 times.
If candidates can build up momentum over the next few weeks, they face having to hit the brakes again when Christmas comes. That complicates their campaign's political calculations.
I wouldn't be thrilled to be called or have somebody knocking on my door Christmas Day.
In New Hampshire,
I'm here today because I thought with all of the moving up of the primary, it might be today.
This week, officials finally set the date for the state's primary, January 8th, 5 days after Iowa. Just like in Iowa, ads are filling New Hampshire's airwaves. As the presidential campaign gets rolling again, but faces a Christmas break at the end of next month. John Yang, NBC News, Washington.
And there will be much more on the presidential campaign tomorrow morning on Meet the Press with Tim Russert. When NBC Nightly News returns this Saturday, our planet and one woman's crusade to plant 2 billion trees.
Sharon Blinn for Bristol-Myers Squibb.
Friends who sleep in a chair by your hospital bed are beautiful. Doctors who tell jokes in the chemo room are beautiful. Patients who refuse to give up are beautiful. Cancer can be ugly. The people who fight it are anything but. Oh yeah, bald is beautiful.
Your will, our medicines. Together we can fight the serious diseases. Bristol-Myers Squibb. Together we can prevail.
Whoa! You know, when you cough, you're not the only one who suffers.
New Grape Delsum controls cough for a full 12 hours. That's 12 hours all day or all night.
Turn off the cough with Delsum.
Who makes stuffing as good as your grandma?
I do.
Because I make it with Swanson broth.
Swanson broth is made with all-natural chicken stock and the flavors of garden vegetables and herbs.
My secret to great holiday stuffing is Swanson broth.
For more recipes, visit swansonbroth.com.
The 60s were about change, defying convention. Take Total, the very first cereal with 100% nutrition. Today, we still do things differently. Only Total cereal has the 100% daily value of calcium for your body. An antioxidant to support a healthy mind. And a taste that's amazing. We're not out to change the world, just the way the world eats breakfast. Total, for mind and body.
Is your sore throat remedy not strong enough? Step up to new Cepacol Maximum Numbing Lozenges. With 50% more pain-numbing medicine, more than any other.
Good morning.
Cepacol. Step up to 50% more.
Someone you love may be a numismatist. It's true, millions collect coins. It's the rush they get collecting something worthwhile. But they need your help. Give them genuine coins from the United States Mint, like the presidential $1 coin proof set. Your gift will make a difference for generations to come. Visit usmint.gov. United States Mint, genuinely worthwhile.
Sunday, Decision 2008. Who's got the inside track to the White House? 4 of America's top political strategists weigh in, only on Meet the Press.
Mapping the Human Body, NBC Nightly News, Monday.
Finally tonight, our planet and one woman's dream. She's determined to bring green back to barren land. And this is no small dream. She's expecting the seeds she has planted in her nation will have big results around the globe. Here's NBC's Martin Fletcher.
Come, children, help me plant.
A call has echoed around the world.
To plant trees, to take care of the land.
Wangari Maathai's Greenbelt movement in Kenya, 100,000 men and women have planted more than 30 million trees. But now,
we want to plant at least 2 billion by the end of 2008.
2 billion trees worldwide. The goal to replace destroyed forest and to fight global warming.
That tree is going to be working for you, trying to remove that greenhouse gas out of the environment.
Wangari's love of the land started early.
I grew up seeing green, seeing trees, seeing birds, seeing wildlife.
Especially near her childhood home, this mud hut north of the capital.
It was a very lovely life.
Professor Wangari's house is just over the hill, and every day when she was a little girl, she'd scamper down here twice a day to collect water from the spring. But her mother used to complain she spent too long enjoying the scenery and watching tadpoles. But developers, farmers and loggers cut down so many trees that only 1.3% of Kenya was covered by them. Wangari wanted her beautiful Kenya back. But it's been tough. At demonstrations against developers, Wangari was beaten and blooded. But she battled on, winning the Nobel Peace Prize 3 years ago, inspiring a generation of women who earn money caring for young trees. Wangari, one says, changed her life.
We are enjoying it, and we love it. Yeah.
Now Wangari is 67 years old.
I guess earlier I thought I had all the time in the world, but as you grow older, you realize you don't have all the time.
Mother Earth, saving Africa 1 tree at a time. Martin Fletcher, NBC News, Nyeri, Kenya.
That's NBC Nightly News for this Saturday. I'm Peter Alexander reporting from New York. We hope we'll see you right back here tomorrow morning on Today. Good night.
NBC News, America's news leader. You've heard about Drew Peterson and the mystery of his ex-wives. But what about his ex-fiancée? Now she tells Meredith what scared her off. Monday on Today on NBC.
It's a detailed atlas of the human body in digital form. See how it's helping students from kindergarten through medical school. NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams, Monday.
MSNBC weeknights. See why critics are saying Keith Olbermann knows how to do news best. Real news, real honest. Countdown with Keith Olbermann, weeknights on MSNBC.
We want a place that's all about the kids.
Well, maybe not all about the kids.
Find your perfect place at Remax.com. Remax.com.
Next time.